Hey everybody, Danny Griffin with another Monday Mojo, brought to you by freethinkingtools.com. This week's quote: properly trained, a man can be dog's best friend. Corey Ford, 1902 to 1969, an American humorist. So I decided that 5 kids just wasn't enough work, so I bought a dog. Of course, I didn't go out and get a little lap dog. Instead, I brought home an English Springer Spaniel, a real hunter. Sorry, it's just a competitor in me. Oh, and furthermore, he's the firstborn in his litter, so naturally he expects to lead. I suppose if I were a dog, this would be me. Of course, I hear it on a regular basis as to how hyper these dogs can be. Downright crazy. Of course, Danny, you know how they have been bred to hunt and kill for centuries, right? He might even eat one of your kids. So did I or do I listen to all that nonsense about this fantastic dog? Of course not, because I know better. How? I did 6 months of homework before I chose a breed and went back and forth over the pluses and minuses. Ultimately, I chose an animal that I could relate to. So now what happened 1 month into the romance? Well, of course, as I coach, I still know that I have no real idea of how to properly train, so I sought help from a professional. During our first meeting, my family sat and watched as the dog whisperer of Cape Cod worked this dog hard and at times quite roughly. I could see my wife and kids squirming as the trainer appeared downright cruel at times. However, put properly into perspective, this dog is a domesticated wolf, and perhaps all the coddling and carrying the kids had done was exactly the right technique to be hard. So in fact, loving this new puppy too much and making him think that my 7-year-old twins were part of his wild pack had taught him that it was okay to start nipping at their feet and legs. Also, because playing all the time doesn't establish a hierarchy or define any expectations for the dog, this little leader had begun to protest and had no interest in being led around on a leash. Well, the good news is he's smart. So when the trainer had her first session with him, he quickly responded. However, I would certainly not say that he went out without a fight. Watching this session was downright work, but even more so for the dog and the trainer. This was literally like watching an intense workout session. The most remarkable part of it for me was that the dog was panting. In the month that he has been with us, I've never seen him come even close to panting like that, and he's had plenty of exercise. So, how does this relate to you and I? Well, the last time anybody pushed you that far outside your comfort zone, when was it? Can you think of a time when you challenged your entire belief system? Did you want anybody to pull up on your collar when you were off course, or did you prefer to run in circles off the leash? The most important characteristic of this puppy is that he's coachable. Even though there is some bite in him, he listened and learned. Even when he reverted back to his old ways, he paid attention to the trainer and kept grinding towards a new and better him. Consequently, we realized how important his training really was, so we checked him in for a whole week of boot camp. I only wish they had a cage for me. How about you? Hey, this is another free thinking tool brought to you by freethinkingtools.com, reminding you to think and thrive. I'll see you next time.